idea was that you covered me. You don't have to duck down that much. So I am Sophia and I'm the manager at the Junction Community Centre. I was born in Australia to Lebanese parents who migrated in the 50s. So I learnt a lot through them, obviously, and in particular from my father, who was a brilliant role model and has shaped us fairly well. We grew up in Highbury and pretty much spent most of our time in Highbury. Very well connected to the Arab community, to the Lebanese community. Grew up in family businesses, so we're always in the deli, and Dad was a taxi driver for a while there. And then I went into hospitality, ended up managing a hotel, somehow landed in community teaching. A friend of mine just said, look, there's a mosque that needs a teacher, someone with native English, and I had no teaching experience whatsoever. Went there, loved it, was working with migrant women wanting to learn English. Absolutely loved it, and the role involved a lot more than just teaching English, and so that's where the community development came into it. So I started the community development just as part of my job and something that I do and enjoy and grew from, and then landed a neighbourhood development worker job in the Muslim Women's Association and then over in Junction Community Centre, and that was after sort of moving around a lot through the community sector and teaching English and doing support groups and things like that, predominantly with women, migrant and refugee women. And now I'm here. Very different probably to a lot of stuff that I've done. The area is really disadvantaged, and it's hard to see it and not want to make a change. And you live each day trying to make a change, and you hope that you can. And even if it's something small, you do it. I think because it's sort of like the poor cousin's house. So it's the house that you can be comfortable in, the house that you can put your feet up in, the house that you don't have to be dressed up to go to. You can make it your second home. It feels safe. People come and just, try and just see what they can do or what they can get from the centre, and often without recognising what they can give. And it's when we have those conversations about, you can actually give as well, that it just opens up a whole new world, and they love it, and it's very comfortable. Yeah, so it's that freedom to grow together, and it's an area that needs that unity and that growth, and so we do it together. It is organised chaos. I think what it comes from is that we have a lot of diverse groups that access the centre, and I've worked with a lot of diverse groups that the formality doesn't work for, and that structure, the really tight structure, doesn't work for. So we have everything really loosely structured. So for me, for everybody else here, it works, and that's what makes it so comfortable. For somebody walking in that's used to structure, they're like mortified and and cannot stay and cannot survive in this environment. There is no point us putting in a strict, tight sort of structure into a place where it won't work, because then you defeat the purpose of being able to bring people in and make people feel comfortable. So yeah, I have an amazing team of volunteers who all seem to work the same way, and if they don't, they get the way I work really quickly and just go along with it. So we all have fun together, we make mistakes together, and it doesn't really matter. If it's not perfect, it doesn't matter. We've done our best, and people have benefited in some way. So we run with it. I've had, we have negative feedback from time to time, but compared to the amount of positive feedback, and even without the feedback, the things that we've seen change and grow and develop, hey, we're happy. We know we're on the right track. So my volunteers are crazy, and they would say the same of me. We've got a team of about 35 volunteers from all different backgrounds. Some who have had no experience whatsoever working in Australia, some who have never had a job in their lives, but just want to connect and do something and feel valued and contribute in some way, or just, feel included. And so, we're just like one big family. What I do, it makes me tick. It gets me excited. It makes me feel like I can help somebody, and I can help the person that no one else will help, the person that's been forgotten, the person that didn't have the confidence to approach a bigger organisation, the person that people have dismissed and thought you're not worth it, and I don't know how you can make that judgment. So yeah, I just do it, and I guess a lot of it has come from my dad. Dad was a migrant here in the late 40s, early 50s when he came and went back and came again. And just through his experiences, and he always taught us to look after what he referred to as the little man. Just help that little man. So the person that was left out, the person that wasn't as comfortable in a social setting, the person that didn't have the best English, the person that couldn't afford to be part of the in-group or wasn't a clique. And so, yeah, that's what makes me tick, and I will always do that for someone. I've also felt that myself, and I've been that outer person, and I hate being in a clique. So this is our clique, but there are no boundaries, anyone can come. My wish for this place would be to make it bigger. That way we could have more people come through, learn more about the world, learn more about what makes them tick, and offer them more and make more people happy. If I could tell someone what it was that was special about this place, is that everyone's welcome. Yeah, no one's going to get turned away, no one's going to be judged. It's just come in and be yourself, be your true self, and we'll love you for it. My kids, having my kids, watching them grow, seeing them reach that point where they've graduated from university and they've become an adult, they're independent, and then, yeah, just watching them come home from the first day of work, watching them buy their first set of clothes for work, whatever it might be. So yeah, they're my pride and joy. They're what, give me my oxygen every day. Very passionate about letting people be recognised for what they are, rather than just be dismissed. I'm so tired of seeing people be dismissed or stereotyped and categorised. I just wish people would open their eyes and get rid of the stereotypes and the categories and the labels and things that just are generally demoralising and diminishing of character. Yeah. Geez, I'm thankful for a lot. Thankful for the beautiful upbringing I had, thankful for the beautiful father I had and beautiful mother. I was more connected to dad, I guess. But thankful for my beautiful parents, thankful for my beautiful kids and the richness that they've given me. Also thankful for my good health and thankful for the people that I meet every day. And it's people that, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I would not have crossed paths with, I would not have met, I would not have learnt from, I would not have grown from. And here I am waiting for him to come and see me, sharing lunch. So it's great. To look at yourself and love yourself. Stop knocking yourself and stop putting yourself down or only seeing the bad things, or, look at all the positives that you've got within and the positives that you can give. I have evolved a lot, I have learnt a lot, I've grown a lot. A big part of it is that I have really quickly identified what I don't like and what I don't want to become, and I think that keeps me grounded. I've always had the potential, and I know that I could be very shrewd and really work my way up in business, but I would lose my true character and I wouldn't be able to sleep comfortably with that or sit comfortably inside myself with that. So yeah, I'm very humble. I like my jewellery, but everyone's got their but. My core is humble, and I think that's something, again, that's some of the values that my parents taught me, because they came here with very, very little and worked really, really, really hard and became very comfortable, and then never, ever showed off about it. Nobody would know that they had money. Nobody would know they were comfortable. But if a friend or a community member came up to them and asked them for help, it was always there. And there were never any, we want it back by this day, or you've got to do instalments. There was nothing like that. There was never any formal agreements. It's just a trust-based relationship. And if it happened, it happened. If it didn't, it didn't. It's about putting trust in that person, connecting with them and sensing their vulnerabilities and knowing that that may have been you or it could be you. So yeah, not to get cocky, because you don't know what's around the corner. I'd like for other agencies in the area, other organisations across the state, across the country, just to be more open to some of the people in the disadvantaged areas. I think they're too quickly branded as difficult, obnoxious, rude, smelly, whatever term they're using. And there's a reason somebody's in that place, and there's a reason that this has happened to them, and they're not necessarily comfortable within themselves. And it doesn't mean they've become complacent. It's sometimes they just get overwhelmed and don't know how to get out of it, or struggle to get out of it, or can get out of it for a while and then sink back in. You've got to walk that journey with them. Helping them out for 5 minutes doesn't cut it. And sometimes you only see that when you're in that position yourself. I think we need to stop being arrogant and take a step back and consider if the world wasn't the way it was. We also need to think about how, with COVID, as devastating as it's been, and sadly many lives have been lost, in a way it was somewhat of, there were blessings to it as well, I'd like to think, in that it put the whole of humanity on a level playing field, and we all had to do the same thing at the same time in the same way to get through this. And I just thought it was a really humbling experience. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was a way that the world could connect and relate to the person that had wealth or didn't have wealth, or was black or was white, because we were all on the same level. And yet it only lasted a short period of time before people started to make those judgments or scrambled for a vaccine for their country, not for another country. And yeah, I think that opportunity there for worldwide growth was lost. But yeah, look after each other. You've got to look after each other, and take those steps out to get to know other people, learn about other people, and appreciate other people.